Hi everyone, so I'm up the plot and I wanted to give you an update on the greenhouse. But before I do that, let me just show you this piece of footage. Okay, so I've come up to the plot today to intend to finish the greenhouse build. It's blood, sweat and tears. It's been blowing a gale, chucking it down, and let me show you what I've arrived to. Oh my god, I can't believe it. There you go, the disaster has struck. I can't believe it. Like, the blood, sweat and tears over the past 2 days putting this up, and the wind has just got up this morning before I could carry on with stuff. I did prop it all up and everything overnight. This greenhouse was a nightmare to build anyway because the instructions are terrible and none of the pieces fitted properly. This was a brand new greenhouse as well, and it's all now completely bent out of shape. So what an absolute disaster. I'm gonna have to rethink this. So as you can see, disaster has struck on this plot. It was an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I'll show you I'll flash up some pictures now. I was making really good progress. I was doing it mainly by myself and I got a little bit of help. And before anyone says I shouldn't have put the polycarbonate sheets in first, etc, etc, that's the only way you could actually build this greenhouse. It was built into the framework. It took longer than expected because none of the bolts fitted, the tracking was all out. It was an absolute nightmare from start to finish. Would not recommend. So yes, what I've got to do now is put that to one side. That's got to be written off and we move forward. So I'll show you the blank space. So there you go. Obviously had all the framework up here, didn't I? All the frame, the base, they levelled all this base area out. This took ages. So all this has come out now. All this aluminium has been scrapped. I've still got the polycarbonate in the shed, which most of it is obviously, well, it's never been used. Some of it's all in the packaging. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't even salvage it. It was that twisted. The wind just kept taking it and taking it. I was on my own here and it was just a write-off. Anyway, so got plans for this space now. Still going to flip the compost bays this way, and I've got plans for this space. So stay tuned for that and I will reveal all. Okay, so the show must go on, mustn't it? So we've got plenty of things to get on with. But first of all, I wanted to show you, I was up here the other day. This drama happened a few days ago. And I did a little bit of work, so let me show you what I've done. Okay, you may have seen this on my Instagram actually, but I've redone, I wanted extra space for peas, didn't I? So I had this metal grill work that another plot holder was thrown out, some old angle iron. So reduce, reuse, recycle is my motto. So yeah, I've put this in this bed here, and this is going to be obviously for some more peas. And I did have onions in here, remember? So these are just some spares that I didn't have space for. Let me show you where I've actually placed the onions. These are just, I thought, well, I can pop these onions in the front here. They're susceptible to allium leaf miner. Uncovered. However, let's see what happens, and then obviously the peas will go both sides. Same this side, but let's go over here and I'll show you where I've popped these onions in here. So yeah, they've all transplanted really, really well, and they're doing fantastically. So I've got no issues with them. They all transplanted. And then obviously I've got some more netting out, and I redid all these hoops on here, and yeah, that was another good job, well done. So I'm pleased with that. Also recovered these shallots here. And then this other pea bed that was already made. This has all been mulched. And just some extra onions here. So yeah, that was really a good day's work. I also started mulching this fruit garden here with some bark. So that plan is, I actually redid the flower garden near the shed and the pond area, and I mulched that last year with bark, and it really worked to keep the weeds down. So I'm going to do the same here. So the fruit and flower garden, it's all going to come around here. Eventually this is all going to be barked. Yeah, but I made a good start here, and I still need to top up the paths and stuff like that with bark. But yeah, so the next thing on the list, I don't know if you remember me mentioning it the other day, is brassicas going to need clearing. So they were looking very sad, the purple sprout, and I did get a crop of that. There's a little bit more on there I can take today, but they've had it. A lot of people have struggled, I think, with the cold, with all the brassicas, especially like purple sprouting. The broccoli, my broccoli's just not done anything. And even the kale is suffering a bit now. So let me show you the disaster that is, and we're going to clear it today. Okay, so yeah, all looking a bit sad. There's a little few bits I can take here. This is not looking too bad. But yeah, this all needs clearing. I'm going to clear this framework away as well. Gone. A little bit of a floret here, a couple here. These are not going to do anything now. And then kale, a few little green leaves on here going to come. I can use these. A lot of them are either going brown or trying to bolt by the look of it. They've come to the end of their useful life now. Still a little bit on here of this green curly kale, but the Cavallonero looks like completely gone. Again, a couple of casualties here. So this is all these brassicas going to get cleared. But on a lighter note, cabbages are looking great. Look at that cracker. Happy with that? Right, let's crack on. So yeah, as well as the brassicas today, I want to redo the pond. I have got a new pond liner. It was leaking, so I'm gonna do that. That's on the list to be done today. But first, we're gonna crack on with the brassicas. Okay, so I'm gonna harvest what I can from this purple sprouting, and yeah, get it up. Let's crack on with it, eh? Not too bad. Get a few meals out of it. So, as you can see, I've cleared all this patch now. I've just raked it over because I am no dig. In between these beds, I'm going to be putting cardboard down and wood chip on top. And depending, so I think obviously this is going to be for potatoes anyway, which was another reason I needed to clear the purple sprouting. But yeah, it's all ready now, ready to be mulched over. Get some manure on here. And I'm going to tidy up all this and then carry on with the rest of the brassicas. Let's go. Okay, so that's a bit of a tidy up done. So now I'm going to crack on with these brassica beds. There's a couple of little florets on these broccolis, so I'm going to rescue them and get the rest out. So as if by magic, ta-da! All done. Next up, kale. Yeah, so time to tackle the kale. But let's have a look at this. Yeah, some of this, the green curly stuff's actually fine, you know. I'll take the harvest off that, and then Well, I've looked at this Cavallonera, there might be a few little bits. It's pretty much gone. It's going to, looks like it's trying to go to seed. But let me try and show you these. So these are what I sowed last year, and the seedlings, they've overwintered quite well. A bit of slug damage, but these are going to replace the Cavallonera, so they're what's going to go in to this bed once I actually sort out where the beds are going to be going with the new pallet collars. So yeah, let's crack on with that. Right, so as you can see, that is all been stripped out of the kale now. I've raked this over, obviously it's going to be no dig, continue with no dig. So I just need to mulch all these beds now. I've also done the other one over there. It's got a lonely Savoy cabbage in there. But yeah, it just needs mulching over now with some compost and manure. But I still got to decide the configuration of getting rid of these hoops and these sort of brassica cages, and I'm going to obviously put the pallet collars as raised beds over this side, and I have got 3-4 large ones to go over in this sort of configuration, so I need to work out what the best configuration is really, but I think in my own mind it's probably going to be here-ish, so we'll see. Right, next job I think, but first a cup of tea. So, GoPro ran out of batteries, so it's back to the old school methods. I was doing the pond, so I'll show you where I've got up to with it. Actually, it's all completed. Let me show you. Okay, there you go. So, pond liner has gone in. I've put the stones back round. Plants have gone back in. Put plenty of mud that came out of there, so any organisms are going to go back into that pond, any larvae, dragonfly larvae, etc, etc. Stones have gone in the bottom, and I say the rest of the mud and all the rest of the plants and weeds, so it's good, should have some pond health. And discovered 2 frogs hiding under the little hedgehog ramp just there, so they've gone back in as well. Let's hope some frog spawn. Everyone else seems to have frog spawn on this site. I think it's due to the fact my pond wasn't looking the best and kept leaking. So anyway, that's a good job, well done. Glad that's done. Okay, so what jobs are you doing on the allotment at the moment and in the garden? Are you doing some pond maintenance? Are you doing some building work? Did you get rid of your brassicas like me? Purple sprout and broccoli wasn't great, was it? What about the rest of your brassicas? Please comment below, let me know what you're up to. I'd be very interested in seeing that. Stay tuned for the project that I'm going to be starting instead of the greenhouse build, which was the disaster. But yeah, Lots more to come. Please like, comment, subscribe if you are enjoying the channel. I'll see you soon.